course, we are celebrating Black History Month.
When you see another Black person doing well, something stops you from wanting to support them because you know what you have to do? You have to look at yourself and wonder why you are not there.
Coming to this country and know what our grandparents did, I didn't want to become anything less.
Get rid of that hair shop and go to our own hair shop.
Somebody give Malcolm X the address. Freedom!
This is the +44 podcast. I'm Zeze Millz.
Yeah, what's that about?
What was that all about?
I'm Sideman.
Music
Culture.
UK. This is +44 from Amazon Music. Hello YouTube, you are watching the +44 podcast highlights. If you want to listen to the full podcast, then go get it wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello everybody, I'm Zeze Millz and welcome to the +44 live Black History Month special.
We are in front of a live audience! We've got guests including Chuckie, Komali Scott-Jones. Make some noise for them. Fuse ODG, Carla Marie Williams, Tinchy Stryder, and UK rap legend Megaman as well. Yep. Our first panel, what does Black History Month mean to you?
Phone calls from companies that now you know that you're Black.
Do you know what? At this point in my life, Black History Month doesn't mean a thing to me. For me, it's just way bigger than a month. It could come and go and I wouldn't even really know. No. Unless someone was ringing me for a check to do something.
Yeah.
Black History started because there wasn't any stories that narrated any versions of our story, right? You can't always keep reminding us about our trauma. There's also so many other stories that need to be told. We used to build pyramids, you know, we used to be multi-geniuses. Maths was invented by African women. You know, there's all this information that's not being told. So it's time for us to remind the younger generation about the stories that aren't being told. And for us, this app, School of New Africa, is to help build that child before the world tells them who they are.
What's your guys' opinion on the current state of Black music and Black culture at the moment?
There's so much range in the artists that are coming out of Black culture in this country. We're kind of more in control than ever. And I think the good thing is we've been able to evolve from being gate-kept so much by radio, by media, and what's allowed to be played. And we have to kind of be a bit more responsible with that energy and not just be bigging up rubbish.
Where does the responsibility lie? Does it rely with the record labels, the consumer, or the artist?
The power is in the consumer's hands.
100%.
Before, you might have argued, it's the labels and the guys at the top that are pushing, misogynistic hip hop, for example. There's music and the music that we love and enjoy and and then there's the music industry. It's got a bottom line. There's finances involved. And so I'm gonna sign the things that get traction. If you can't see a pulse on conscious rap or punk metal, that's not what you're gonna sign.
I think that it's really important when you do find an artist, talk about that, talk about them. If your ear is not dictated to the noise, you'll find that there is so much good music and so many good artists out there.
Exactly.
There's so many.
I think the music industry right now is thriving, especially Afrobeats. But I always think about the artists behind the music. I feel like there's a lot of labels exploiting the scene. And the reason why it keeps happening is because we're not communicating as a community. We're not learning from each other. The people that came before me, there was no dialogue. When you guys are, criticizing the artists, just be easy on them because there's a major battle behind the deals.
There's a mentality also that you need to try to install in them, because when you come from a certain environment and there's nothing, and you get a little bit of traction, and someone comes to you and says, you know what, I'll give you 70 grand for this. It's so difficult for them in that situation to turn it down, because all they're thinking about is the environment that they're in and what they're experiencing at that time. So you're right, I think that there does need to be some conversation on, you know what, there's leverage in what you're building at the moment, but at the same time, it's tough because their situation is what it is right now.
But also as a cultural thing as well, that I do think that we don't talk openly enough. Because we don't ever share numbers. And I think that is a culture thing, because we've always been taught to keep our mouth shut. You don't chat your business outside of the house. And that's it.
That's why I want the bank accounts to flash on social media. So that everybody can just start being real, bro.
No, but it's like,
I do think it's a British thing too, though, on top of...
Oh, right, everything is supposed to be...
Yeah, and we've got a class system and all of these things. So it's just like, you lot are there and and I'm here. And don't worry about what I'm doing or what I'm making or what I'm driving.
Exactly, yeah.
Don't worry how I got it.
Don't watch my pocket.
Right, all of those things,
Really, I should be able to call Chuckie and be like, when Channel 4 came to you, what did they say? Also, it's about having people in the building, like yourselves, actual us in the building.
But I think it's happening now though, and it needs to happen more. We're now spending more time with each other, more than ever. I'll be chilling with Gigs and Bizzle, and before that, the different genres were not chilling with each other, right? And we're now having conversation. That's how we did Tina Festival. So Tina Festival was the first festival to happen in Ghana to bring all the different artists from the UK, like Steph London, Lethal Bizzle, Sneak Bowl. Because what was happening was we were performing in Ibiza, Ayanapa, Malia. People came because of us. We need to understand the power that we have. The revenue needs to be in our hands. You know what I'm saying? And
you see when people go to Ibiza and they're spending all this money and pumping all that money into their economy.
That's it. It's not for our community.
Exactly.
So we had that conversation and now we're identifying the problems that we're having and we're coming up with solutions. So it is getting better.
100%. Definitely.
Make some noise for our guests, people. Multi-award winning. Make some noise for Poetess Jess!
See, slavery came and it interrupted our history, so it's only part of it. They don't want to tell you the other half of it, so let me start by telling you this. You are made in his image and in his likeness. That makes me and you a black royal highness. See, this is black in its image and in its highness, cut from the finest, so elegant and unique no other ethnicity could ever critique. All this melanin is carved in the roof of palaces and halls. See, they can hear our voices echo through the walls. We are the treasure that's placed on this earth. Yes, black people, we are vessels. Our blackness transcends to different levels. We aim high, so we are never settled. And let me tell you, if we were to teach other people our world, then we taught them how to get settled. Even with the deck stacked against us from the outset, let's not plug our temporary situation into a permanent outlet. But it's time that we come together, unite and stand as one, yes. It's time we stand up, stand out and speak our best because we've got that domino effect because we know how dominoes connect.
This is our second panel and we have some UK legends joining us. Can I get a whoop, 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 whoop? Oh, thanks, guys, because that was pretty corny, but you actually all done it.
Could you guys tell us what Black History Month means to you?
I think it's fine that they give us a month. I think it's cool, you know, to be recognised and all that stuff. It's just one of those months where I feel it shines a light on what black people are actually doing globally as well as in the UK.
Yeah.
Before it was all about slavery and, you know, all the traumatic side, but now there's tons of us doing crazy amount of stuff. We're achieving a lot. Entrepreneurs, multimillionaires, billionaires in the UK, owners of
Where's
airports.
the billionaires in the UK? I'm just asking for a
Owners
friend.
of airports. Owners of airports. You know? You're looking at me like a black man doesn't own Gatwick.
She's trying to up her portfolio.
I just asking where they reside. Just asking.
like,
Yeah, like you're asking for $4,000 a month. Zeze's like...
But like I say, you know what? Sometimes I do feel that we think like our circles, like our small circles. From every generation around us, there was a lot of people who were vocally outspoken.
Yeah.
A lot of people that achieved great stuff. So I just think Black History Month is about shining a light on the great achievements, the great inventors, and everything that our culture has to offer.
Yeah. I agree. Any other thoughts on Black History Month?
For me, basically, someone who's been running the platform, I think it's an opportunity to exploit organisations to basically support what we do. All the rest of the year round, they'll say we've already got something like this, we've already got something like that. So I guess it's the most valuable time for people that look like us.
Does that annoy you?
Right now, I just kind of mute it out and just come back here to make it make sense and go back to where I need to go back and feel loved and appreciated all year round.
There you go.
But I feel like we get opportunities to know what people are doing. It's a lot of black people doing powerful stuff and it's not many people getting to hear what they're doing. So I guess in a month, highlight that side of it.
I'd love it if this room was full of white people so that I could actually say it to the people who actually we need to help affect that change so that change can happen. Because I feel like it's very easy for it to become an echo chamber where we're just talking to each other and no actual change is happening.
It's a bit of that because I feel like even when we create brands and when we create companies, it's like we still target our culture. I think we need to think a little bit out of the box.
100%.
When we're creating brands, when we're doing music, when we're doing anything that we do, we need to target a wider audience and just, you know what I mean? Most of our families came from the Caribbean and Africa. They owned land, they owned shops, they owned things there. And now we've come here and it's like, we're not even trying to own anything. It's like we just want to party and...
We have to remember the infrastructure of the country that we're in.
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes the infrastructure of this country does not allow us to do what we should be able to do. Because I always used to have this debate with one of my friends and she was very much like, we need to do better, we need to do better. But I want us to get to the point where we don't need to be signed off by whoever to do the stuff that we need to do. If we actually all just checked for each other, there's 4 million of us in this country, yeah? If we all checked for each other, your sister puts a product out, if even half of us bought that product, 2 million of us bought that product, I genuinely think there's enough of us not to have to always want us to be like, please, sir, can we have some more? Do you get what I mean?
I grew up in South London and like most of South London, black people were pub owners. Few of them had shops, few of them had Caribbean shops and all that stuff. There's a percentage of us that had certain opportunities. Maybe we didn't run the pubs well and we made, gangs come in there and bad man come in there and do their little hustling in the pubs and everything there. But there's little pockets of opportunities that I saw and I was inspired because growing up in Battersea, you're kind of in the ghetto a bit, but you see a little bit of wealth around you. I couldn't grow up in that area and not become something. Most of us just look at our household as that's our benchmark. But we got to look past that. Look at your great-great-great-great-grandparents. Look at their cultures and understand what they achieved. Coming to this country and know what our grandparents did. I didn't want to become anything less. And then you got to know that you're joking right now, Carl. Cars should be flying right now. And we're playing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, basically a vibe, man. Yeah.
All of you are entrepreneurs in your own right. Talk to us a little bit about that. How's it been? Go on.
I've got the Jamaican side of the family, I've got the Grenadian side of the family. Both of them were quite wealthy. I always listened to my father. My father's a Rasta, and he always told me about the Vincent family, and what we was doing in that country. When they came here, some of them went private school, but they all had a trade. Between the age of 16 and 18, I said, I want to set up a company. So it was my uncle, who was an accountant. He's passed away now, RP CJ, that helped me set up my business. What the system teaches us is to be scared to fail, be scared to walk into a bank with your little bop and your little lean and, slap a business plan on the table. And I just had no fear of that. Also, it's just about team. So pick your friends wisely, pick yourself.
Just to add to that, my team was my mum. My mum and my sister, they were my team. So for me, like growing up in Harlesden, all I could do was sing. Yeah, left college at 16 when I was pursuing doing A-level law and sociology to do music, and it didn't work out for me. And when I went to try and go and get a job, I had no skills. I literally didn't even know how to use a computer. And I just basically put together a whole business plan of someone who's never been to uni or even college before of, I want to teach kids how to write songs. I want to teach kids how to sing. And basically on my thing was like, I'm done back in singing for Estelle, Westlife, all these different people. And basically that got me through my door. And that's when I first set up my business at 23 years of age. And that was just the rest of it kind of went from there.
My first album that I put out was called Star on the Hood. I was 7. And when we done that, we thought, let's print some t-shirts to sell to. When we got on tours, we couldn't really afford hotels. We thought sell a few t-shirts on the tour and then that was making enough money to pay for hotels. After that kept building. Even before that, that's always thankful to my parents because my older brother's a DJ. Called him, his name was Wizkid before Wizkid. Yeah, original. And then after that, my mum, we had like small room and everyone comes and has to make tapes. Not knowing further on, Star became like a household name and a brand and then done deals with, I guess, like the whole deal with Jay-Z, Rock Nation. I remember JD Sports come and bought so many. I thought, hold on. I used to come in now, I couldn't buy one thing. Now you lot are buying all these many things off me. And from then I thought, but how can I help other people with this though? So I always tell people don't believe what they tell you, you can't do this. Why not? Why not? People that tell you can't do this, they ain't tried nothing before.
Yeah.
That was my motivation.
Living in boxes.
Don't be afraid, like Meg was saying, don't be scared of failure, man. Because how do you learn if you don't make a mistake?
I feel like you guys are great examples of being in the music industry and then pivoting, investing and making sure that you age gracefully in the business. Any audience questions?
Why do you guys think that the Black community is so hard on Black businesses? But if it's a white business, we're like, okay, I'm going to try and order again. I'm sure it was just a one-off.
How many times have we gone back to the nail shop after they've been so rude to us?
Exactly.
There's this jealousy inside. When you see another another black person doing well, something stops you from wanting to support them because you know what you have to do? You have to look at yourself and wonder why you are not there. And then that's why you don't want to support.
After what happened the other day in the hair shop, the Indian hair shop, get rid of that hair shop and go to our own hair shop.
I don't think we need to get rid of anyone. I think we just invest in our own. His shop can be open. We just need to go elsewhere.
Sorry, I didn't mean get rid of it. Sorry.
Do what he needs to do.
I've never actually seen a black-owned hair shop. I don't know.
Neither have I.
Is there what? Where is it? What's the address? Google it. Somebody Google it now.
It's online.
We need to know.
Somebody give Malcolm X the address.
Freedom!
The other day, I went to O2 Arena and I saw an African artist sell out the O2 Arena with just us inside. We were the ones that made that happen. I want us to clap for ourselves at how far we've actually come with what we've done.
Working on an educational app that teaches Black history and African languages in a gamified way called Sona, School of New Africa.
And I do feel personally we shouldn't actually name businesses as black businesses, but just businesses. Because at the end of the day, they are just a business.
People got so upset with Jay Huss for releasing his coats that were £800, but you're gonna go to Balenciaga for £600.
If I can get you to sign for cheaper so that I make more money, that is exactly what I'm going to do.
The person who signed me, he did not want to talk to my lawyer. He wanted to look me in the eye and say, do you agree with this deal? Yes or no?